Okay, so in today's training, we'll be covering how to rank your website on the first page of Google without having to pay for SEO. And this is a strategy that I've used with different practices that you can go and implement yourself without having to pay somebody to do that. So I'm going to share my screen so you can follow along. Here we go. If you go to practicelaunch.io, there should be a tab where it says resources, and you can find this article. So let's cover a couple of things. There's ultimately 3 ways to be on the first page of Google. Number 1 is through paid ads, right? You're paying Google to show you on the front. Number 2 is SEO, which is more of the common way that a lot of people know about. You pay somebody, an expert, that will help you identify the keywords you should be ranking for. Usually it's these phrases that when people type them, you want to show up for. And you pay them so that they create blog articles, they create backlinks, and with time, hopefully 6 months or plus, they can rank your website. Although there's never a guarantee, that is their aim, to do that for you. With something like that, it does take more time and money, but a lot of people don't understand or aren't aware that there's a much faster, easier way to do this that requires 0 technical skills, and you can do it yourself. You don't have to pay anybody to do it. So we'll be covering how to rank with your Google My Business profile. Some benefits are, more people will be able to find you. You'll show up on the top of Google. And one of the things that is very important is I'm going to show you my screen real quick so you can see why this is important. So I'm just going to type IV therapy near me. And let's look and see what happens. At the very top, these are people that are paying to be at the top. So this real estate is reserved for those that are paying. Now look what's next. It's all the Google My Business profiles. So Google prioritizes this versus somebody down here that has worked on their SEO. So if you were to ask me what's more important, not that they're both not important, but I would rather be up here, because when people see this, they're going to look, number 1, are they close by? And number 2, they're going to go read those reviews to make their decision if they should go with you or not. And then maybe they might make it down here. So Google My Business is by far one of the fastest, easiest ways to rank on top. And number 2, it's more geared for local businesses, which a lot of, if you're watching this, and you most likely own a local practice where people walk in to your clinic to receive a service. So just wanted to give you that visual so you can see why this is so important. And next, we'll go over the steps that you need to take. All right. So as I mentioned, Google My Business rank much faster than traditional SEO. And this is, when I say this, I mean this for local business, which is us, right? Why? Because Google prioritizes local search. When somebody's looking for a service, they're going to use geo mapping or your location to identify if you're close to this practice. And number 2, to get your listing, you have to be verified. That's Google's way of ensuring that, hey, you're a real person that is at this address, and they feel comfortable and safe that if they send somebody to you, you're going to actually give them that service that you say you provide. So step 1, go to google.com/practice to set up your account. Hyperlink is right here. And fill out all the information that they ask for. This includes your practice information, so name, address, phone number, website, hours, and then your category. And then they'll send you that postcard so that you can verify your account. And then once you're verified, you can add more information. So let me quickly show you what that profile looks like. Here's an example of a profile. When you first are able to log in, go to edit profile and make sure your information is updated, especially your business category. If you're not open yet, you can still go ahead and do this. Notice that it has opening date, meaning if you're going to open in 2 months, go ahead and claim it now. Add your address. If you're mobile, you don't have to have a physical address. You can add a area of service. So if you're doing mobile IV infusions, don't wait. You don't need an address. You can do an area of service. Add your business hours and any information that's pertinent. So make sure you complete all of this as best as you can. Next, take advantage of the post features. So the post feature, I always think of it as another, your Facebook, your Instagram post that you're already doing. Use that same information and post it over here. Because what we're doing is we're educating Google and telling them, hey, if somebody searches for this, testosterone, men's health, IV infusion, if somebody searches for this, we need to educate Google in terms of what services we provide so that they know when somebody searches for that, we can help them, send them our way. So post features, do at least one post a week, ideally, so that you have this continuous flow of information onto your profile. I'll show you quickly where you do that. So from your profile, all you do is click add an update. And that same information you already created on your social media accounts, come and add it here. You can copy paste the text, add a button, learn more to your website, and then add a picture for that post. And those will start to populate under your profile. Let me show you if there's, okay, what's going on? There we go. Those will start to populate under your profile down here at the bottom. So just make it part of your routine. You're posting on social media, go ahead and post over here as well. No extra work, just that additional place where you can go ahead and do that. All right, so very important, post features. Number 2, reviews. As we all know, it's very important you get reviews. And there's a couple of reasons for this. I always like to understand, why does Google care about this? And the reason is because if I go on Google and I search for men's health clinic near me, and I find your place through Google and I have a bad experience, then I'm not going to trust Google as much anymore because I have this negative experience that they led me and took me to. So Google was like, how it's impossible for us to go to every practice and, have, see if they're good or not. So what they rely on heavily are these reviews, so that now they know, like, oh, we have people in your area that have gone in and they experienced your service, and now they are leaving a review. So they check that box of, okay, if there's 5 practices in an area, we're going to rank the top 3, those that have the most reviews and have the highest ratings. So when it comes to reviews, I always think, what's the easiest way for us to get a review? And what can I do to increase the chances of somebody that already had a good experience of them actually leaving that review? And the best way we have found is by sending it through SMS text message. Text message has a 98% open rate, meaning they're going to open it. And number 2, compared to email, there's no comparison. People scroll through emails, they miss them. And a lot of EMRs have this software, but they're missing that SMS component, where as soon as somebody leaves, we can tell our system to send them a text message, and we know they're going to get that, and it's going to have the direct link to where they leave that review. So super important. If you haven't activated that or have that available, start looking into programs that do that. Our software does that, practicelaunch.io. If you want to come check us out, we have the capabilities to automatically do that with all the patients you see. So number 2, get more reviews. Number 3, create more citations. Citations are basically a backlink. So it's another website pointing back to your website. And the easiest way to do this is by claiming different directory profiles. And I listed here some for you, which we'll go over here in a second. And what's important about this is that Google is constantly trying to verify your information. And they're going to go based off your website. They're going to go based off your Google My Business profile, but then they're also going to see what other directories are pointing back to you, which help increase your credibility as a business, because it's not just you saying this, you have multiple other accounts that are pointing back to you. Now, one thing that is critical that a lot of people mess up is that everything has to be equal and congruent. If, for example, your address has suite A on your website, but you failed to include that on your Google My Business profile, and then you go to, you create a listing and then it does have it, you start creating inconsistencies, so it confuses Google and it lowers your rank. So if you're going to do this, make sure everything is identical. I'll give you another example. We had this happen with a practice. They had Men's Health, LLC on their listing, but on their website, they were menshealth.com. Or on their logo, it had a different name, they didn't have that LLC. And these are small things that a lot of times we would overlook, but it's super important to make sure that this information is consistent on your website, on your profile, and then any listing that you go and create. So here are a couple of free listings of directories that you can go set up today. Number 1, Bing Places for Business, Yelp, Yellow Pages, and your local Chamber of Commerce. Other niche-specific, industry-specific directories are Healthgrades, Vitals, WebMD, and ZocDoc. So these are some examples of other places where you can go create these directories. Now, it's super simple to do this, right? There's nothing technical or overwhelming about what I just mentioned. This is truly all it takes. Number 1, claim your profile, make sure it's up to date and you're posting updates. That helps Google know that, hey, they're an active profile. We need to send them people. Number 2, get reviews. That's Google's way of knowing, hey, they actually provide good service and we should send them more people. And number 3, get these citations, get these other websites pointing back to your website, which adds credibility and checks these 3 boxes that are super important for you to start ranking on Google. The training is here. Don't sleep on this. Get to work on this. And if you're busy, too busy, I know, I get it, I'm busy too. We can do this for you and automate all of this for you. If you are interested, book a demo with us or hit us up on the chat widget. We have a system that does this all for you. It'll, number 1, make sure your Google My Business profile is up to date, matches your website, follows their policy. Number 2, we're able to then push that listing onto 75 other listings. Here I mentioned a couple. 8 different ones that you can set up yourself, but the more the better, right? So our system will do that automatically and push you onto 75 or more directories. And then number 3, we'll create the content for you with the keywords that we know that you should be ranking for, so you don't have to guess on what to post on your features. And we help set up your system so that you can get more reviews from your patients. So if you are interested, if you're like, hey, Juan, I'm just too busy to do all of this. This is great training. It's simple, but I just don't have the time. I totally understand, which is why we created the service. So reach out to us, practicelaunch.io, if you do want to set up for you. And let me see if there are any questions. Hope you are having a great day. Nothing crazy or hard about what we covered today. Like most things, it's just a matter of doing it. Hi, Pamela, MedPaw and Aesthetics, great. So with that, every service you offer, go and create a post about that, because now we're telling Google, hey, we do Botox, we do body sculpting, we do facials, IV therapy, whatever it is you do, go create an individual post about each of these services. We want Google to know that, hey, we do a lot of things. MedSpa doesn't really tell them much. So jump on that today. And anybody else have any questions? I think that's it. All right, so we'll wrap this up. Yes, totally agree, Pamela. And that's why we help with the service. If you are interested, let us know. We handle all of it for you, so you can focus on what you do best, which is take great care of your clients, of your patients. So we set up all this technical stuff for you. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. Act on this. It's simple, it's easy, it's effective. No reason why you can't do this and set this up for your practice today. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.